Come back. In our previous video, we covered introduction to WordPress. We compare WordPress and other CMS. So in this part 2 of this WordPress tutorial for beginner, we're going to look at exploring local by Flywheel, and then we see how WordPress dashboard actually looks like. Right, like I said earlier, in the previous part, which was part 1 of this tutorial, we covered how to install local by Flywheel on your laptop. So if you have not done so, kindly check that video out, because that is what this part is based on. So that being said, I still remain your friend Dapo Bimbe, and if this is your first time here, kindly subscribe, like, and share the video with your friends and family that you know will benefit from it. All right, so let's get started. Now that you've installed your local by Flywheel, we're gonna start from local by Flywheel. So when you open your local by Flywheel, you're not gonna have as much sites as I have here. Probably are going to have like one. So in our last video, we created Learning WP. So when you click on it and then you start the site, when you start the site, this is how it look like. So this is basically your local by Flywheel dashboard. So we're going to explore it more now so that you understand. Now, I'm sure you already know how to create sites on local by Flywheel. So now let's get on. So this next icon here is for you to, local by Flywheel is owned and created by WP Engine. So if you want to use WP Engine services, they have an option for you to connect your local by Flywheel to their platforms. Right, you can see right here. And then this next one is for blueprint. Let's say you've created blueprint for creating your website on local by Flywheel. This is what this icon is for. And then you have add-ons. Add-ons are like plugins on local by Flywheel that you can install that gives you access to some things. Like you have access to add-ons like image optimizer, table plus, cloud backup, link checker, notes, sdebug and VS Code, sdebug and PHP Storm if you are using PHP Storm IDE, or if you are using VS Code. And then instant reload. You're gonna be needing instant reload, because the instant reload majorly is for when you are writing CSS, right? So when you write CSS and you save, you see that your site reloads automatically on your browser. Right, it has not advanced to the point of you seeing changes when you say you modify your PHP or you modify your JavaScript or jQuery. But for now, when you style or change your style, you're gonna see the changes immediately. So you can see the one I've installed here. I've installed cloud backups and then instant reload. So those are add-ons. The add-ons are just like softwares or like plugins that gives you extra features on local by Flywheel. Then if you want to contact the support, you can click here. This one is for if you want to get more of WP Engine services. Right? And then if you want to log in, I'm already logged in, and that is why you see AW. Like log in with my Alpha Web Consult at Gmail. So if you are not logged in, you'll see an option to log in. So when you click on it, it redirects you to your default browser. So if you are logged in on your default browser, probably with your Gmail, you can log in with Gmail, and then it will redirect you back to this app. And then the reason why I'm logged in is you don't necessarily need to log in, but when you want to have the ability to share your site with your friends near and far so that they can see what you are building, you need to log in. And when you log in, you see this option being available for you, live link. So if I enable live link on this site now and I share you the details, it is enabled and I share you the details, the live link, URL, the username, the password, you'll be able to see what I'm building, what I'm working on, so far or as long as my laptop is on and connected to the internet. But the moment my laptop is off or disconnected from the internet, you're going to be seeing 404. But as long as my laptop is on and connected, you're going to be seeing what I'm doing, or you see what I've built on that particular site. All right. So on this right hand part, you see your site folder. This basically for some intermediate to advanced user of WordPress. You see your site share. You see, site share when you want to use your command line, right? If you want to like load your website directly on VS Code, just click on VS Code. It takes everything for you on VS Code. So from VS Code, you can continue whatever you want to do. All right. Basically, if you are coding, if you are building your theme from the scratch, if you are building plugins, if you are building blocks, if you are modifying a plugin, let's say you are modifying Elementor, modifying WooCommerce, it gives you access that, right? You can see the overview, your site domain, the SSL. These ones are just giving you like the data or the stats of that particular website that you are working on Local by Flywheel, and then you see your database. If you want to like check your database, just click on Open Adminer Evo. It's automatically redirects you to your default browser again and open that database for you. All right. For tools are like what you have access for, and they also include the add-ons that you've installed. You can see the cloud backup. You can see Mapit. Mapit is, let's say you are working on a custom theme, and then there's a contact form. You are testing the contact form on your local server because you cannot get those emails on your Gmail account directly. So when you are testing out if the email you are sending is working or not, if there's any error, you'll be receiving those mails inside your Mapit. So if you want to check, you just click on Mapit. If you click on Mapit and it brings you to a page like this, then you can see if there's any email. Depending on whatever you are testing, and then live link, you can see your details again. Instant reload, you see the changes, your session log in your instant reload. Then this triple dot also gives you access to some things you can do in your local by Flywheel. You can open the site, you can go to the admin dashboard, you can check your site folder. When you click on site folder, it's going to like open your file explorer. Depending on the system you are using, if it's Windows or Mac OS, it opens your file explorer, so you see all the files that this particular website has. You see your site share. You can restart the site, you can stop the site, you can clone it. Let's say you want to like replicate, you can export it, you can save it as a blueprint. A blueprint is more like a framework that you'll be using to build other sites. And you can move it to groups. You see, as I segmented my websites, just inches, clients, my themes and boilerplates, below my sites. You can also change your domain name. This does not have an effect on your live sites eventually, but you can play around. You can rename this particular site. Maybe you want to change it to another thing, right? And then some action button, your WP admin, and open site. So if I click on open site now, it's going to website looks like now. By default, this is what it looks like, and the theme on it is the 2025 WordPress blog theme, right? So that is basically everything you need on your local by Flywheel. Things that you'll be doing, you'll be setting up your instant reload, you'll be checking your site folder. If you want to like open that particular all the files in VS Code, just click on VS Code and it goes to VS Code. But before I go ahead to before we move into the WordPress dashboard to see how that particular area looks like, let's open this. When you click on site folder, you notice that your file explorer is activated. Then you can see this is the site folder now. You can see it's on the Obimbe local sites, learning WP. So you have these three major folders here: app, config, and logs. So when you click on app, it opens up again. You see the public. When you click on it, you see WP admin, WP content, WP includes, and so on and so forth. There are some important files that you can open here if you don't want to open everything in your VS Code. And this is basically for people who are already developers who know their way around PHP, how to add codes, building things from the scratch. and then I'm just showing you, pending the time, we'll get to that part of the tutorial. So when you want to open your theme and plugins are inside the WP content. So you see must use plugins. These are plugins that you must use, all right, based on the theme or based on how your WordPress is set up. Plugins are plugins that you install. Themes, when you open it now, you see these are the default themes here. You have the 2025, you have the 2024, 2023. Those are the themes here. You also see the uploads. Upload are the files that you've uploaded on your WordPress dashboard. The images, the video, the PDFs, and so on and so forth. Now, how do you open your theme with your VS Code? To open your theme with your VS Code, like I said, you can open like all the folder in VS Code, or you can open just your theme. If what you are doing is only on your theme, you can open just the theme. But if you be working on plugins and themes together, you can open your WP content. All right. So let's say our theme of choice is 2025. Just click on, click on that folder. You right click. That is if you have VS Code installed already, or whatever your choice, whatever your ID choice. It can be VS Code, can be PHP Storm, it can be Atom, it can be Sublime, whatever it is, you know how to open it. So I'm using VS Code. So when you right click on that particular theme now, you see the option to open with code. Right, so when you open with code, it's going to like open that theme in VS Code for me. The theme is open in VS Code for me, and this is what I have. And because the theme is a block theme, we are still going to explain that in our coming videos. Because it's a block theme, you see this theme.json, styles, screenshots, functions, templates, styles, patterns, parts, assets, and so on and so forth. So those are the things you can do with your Local by Flywheel. You can connect your VS Code to Local by Flywheel, and it gives you access to build whatever you want to build. You're not bothering yourself with complex setup, compared to the time of using WAMP server, XAMPP, to Laragon to set up WordPress. Now this is easier, faster, and more intuitive than those processes or those methods, right? So now that you know how to create site in LocalWP, you know how to open your site folder, you know how to start your site, you know how to install instant reload add-on or plugin and other add-ons. Now let's look at WordPress dashboard. How does it look like? If this is your first time dealing with WordPress, this is actually how WordPress dashboard looks like. This is actually how WordPress dashboard looks like. So when you open it like that from Local by Flywheel, that was possible. I did not enter any login, any username or password, because in my Local by Flywheel, if you go to overview, you see that one-click admin is already turned on. So which means when I turned it on like that, I do not need to enter username, password when I want to log in. So when this is turned on, all I have to do is click on WP admin button, and it will automatically log me in. All right. So when you are logged into your dashboard, you see this. You see the welcome to WordPress. Presently on version 6.7.2. Right. You can see some of the things you can do. Add new page. Open the site editor. Edit styles. Because you are using block editor. What block theme? So some of the info you see will be different from when you are using hybrid or classic theme, right? So we are still on the dashboard homepage now. You can see the site status. So we've not done anything, so everything is still perfect at a glance. Activity, quick, WordPress events and news. So this is the homepage. So under this dashboard, if you click on update, you see some of the updates that you need to know. You need to pay attention to your themes, your plugins, what you need to update. You see them under these updates. can see that my update is +1 because this 2025 needs to be updated. Right, so that is the dashboard, like dashboard homepage. See the homepage, you see the update. Now you see posts. You visited website where you read articles. Maybe something happened to Davido, Wizkid, and Olamide is fighting. James Brown, and those posts or those contents or those articles are created under this section. When you over on that post, you see all posts, you see add new post, you see categories of posts, you see tags, right? And then after that, you see your media, your videos, images, PDFs, and so on and so forth. You see your library. Like when you click on it, you see all the medias that you have. If you don't have any media, you see that you have 0 media content, no image, no video, no PDF. And right from here, you can still delete, you can add. So nothing is here. So, and then we move to the pages. Pages are the static post types. They are static in such that pages are stuff like home, about, contact, services, privacy, disclaimer, terms of use or terms and conditions. Contents like that are static. You are not, they are not something you update every day. If there's any update, maybe you are just, making sure the informations there are up to date. You are not creating new pages every day like you create articles. These are the way your user access your website such that they can say maybe dapob.com/about/contact/services/disclaimer/privacy and policy. So those are pages. All right. So articles are dynamic. So the article has to be the way you set it up. Maybe you are using the name of the article, or you are using the article ID, or you are using the post date. Right. Then you see comments. If your comment system is open, your blog is working perfectly, you see people drop comments. I'm sure you've dropped comments on 1 or 2 websites before. And then appearance. This appearance, what we have here, will depend on the kind of theme you are using and some plugins that you've installed. For now, basically by default, because we are running blog theme, all you see are these 2 options. You see themes and editor. Editor is where you go to make changes to how your website looks. The theme, where you go to select the kind of theme that you want to use. In the coming video, I'm going to explain what a theme is and what a plugin is, difference, and what they do, what each of them does. Then after the appearance, you see plugins. Plugins are just like you adding extra features to your website. Let's say you create a blog now. Let's say you create an ads blog, and you want to include a feature where people can calculate their BMI. You can look for plugins that takes care of that if you do not know how to code. But if you know how to code and you can do it, you can code your own plugin or include that feature inside your theme directly. Then you can see users. Users are the the admins, the authors, the contributor, the editor, shop manager if you have shop, and so on and so forth. All right, we'll be exploring that later too. Then we have tools. Some tool, let's say you want to import content from another website, post pages. Let's say you want to export the content from a website so that another website can import it. You see your site head. You can export your personal data. You can erase your personal data. Theme file editor for advanced user only. Plugin file editor, do not go to, but if you are a developer, you can. Right, settings. Under settings, you see the general, the writing, the reading, the discussion. That's to do with comments. The media has to do with images. Permalinks have to do with how your URL is structured. Your post URL is structured. Your pages URL is structured. Then privacy policy. If you want to use the auto-generated WordPress privacy policy page, you can use it. So that is basically the overview or the summary of what your WordPress dashboard is. Right? You can edit theme, create pages, and so on and so forth. So in the next video, we're going to look at some of these features in details. Right? We're going to look at some of these features in details before we actually start, building anything. I'll make sure you understand each of them, especially the settings, the theme, the plugins, the tools, how you can create pages, and how you can create posts. All right. So if you have any question, kindly drop them in the comment section. And if you have none, don't forget to like this video, share with your friends, and if you have not subscribed, please kindly do so. It will help me a lot. Right? And that is it for this part 2 of WordPress tutorial for beginners. I will see you in the next video.